Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name's Jess and I love all things books. So, we're here today for a very important reason. My name's Jess and I'm suffering from the biggest book slump on this God's green earth. I don't know what to do. So, today, this weekend, for the next 3 or 4 days, I have enlisted the help of ChatGPT to see if they can help me to get out of this reading slump. We're going to refer to ChatGPT as they, because it feels wrong to refer to it as it. I asked ChatGPT this morning, what are the best tips for getting out of a reading slump? I'm stuck feeling like I can't pick my book up, I'm not enjoying what I'm reading, and I've got a short attention span, and I've got loads of books I want to read. I need a plan. It's not that I'm not enjoying the books I'm reading. I'm currently reading a huge tome of a book, which I can't reveal to you because it's coming in a video soon. I am also reading Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, and I'm not bashing the book at all, it's brilliant. But for one, who needs a 500-page romance? And for two, I decided to start this in the middle of a 700-page book, thinking it would help break it up. And all it has done is put me in a reading slump. So I may have ruined a really good book. But I'm in a reading slump and I need to get out of it. ChatGPT said, you are absolutely not alone. Reading slumps hit even the most dedicated book lovers, and they can feel really frustrating, especially when your TBR is calling your name. The key is not to force yourself through it, but to gently reawaken your reading spark. Here's a full plan to break you out of your reading slump. And this is where we bring in the whiteboard. Yes, I have dragged it out of goodness knows where, but we're gonna call them phases, okay? So, phase 1, reset your mind. This includes ditch the guilt. You're not failing at reading, your brain is just craving a different rhythm right now. Guilt-free slumps recover faster. Yeah, that's quite a fair bit of advice, to be honest. And number 2, step away from your current book. I feel like those 2 steps are fairly easy. I just have to sit here and tell myself not to feel guilty. And you know what? I don't feel guilty about being in a book slump. It happens. There is nothing I can do about it. It's absolutely nothing to do with the books I'm reading. Second step for phase 1, ditch my current book. I have 140 pages left. I'm not going to ditch it entirely, but I am absolutely going to put it on the side and to the back burner. It is not a priority. 140 pages I can read when I'm ready. Of course, my filming buddy is here. Hello, darling. I think we can easily cross off number 1 and say that I've already stepped away from my current read. So, phase 2 is slump-friendly reading options. Try novellas, graphic novels, or fast-paced thrillers. And it's even given me some recommendations. It recommends Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave, which I have, which is funnily enough the first book I ever DNF'd, ever, while reading. So maybe we won't go for that one. Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, which is a graphic novel. I'm sure all of you book lovers out there have heard of this. I've watched all the series, so it's not really something I'm interested in reading. Or Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, cozy fantasy. I've always wanted to read Legends and Latte, and it's definitely on my list. But I think I found some other books. We've also got reread an old favourite or try an audiobook. I'm currently reading The Girls Who Disappeared by Claire Douglas. I am loving it and I am listening to it, but it hasn't actually changed how I feel about my reading slump. So we absolutely can find a slump-friendly reading choice. And for that, we're going to go to the Kindle, because this morning, while I was speaking to ChatGPT, I decided to download some slump-friendly books. We have on the option list Death Row by Frida McFadden. And we also have The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. This is another one of Abby Jimenez's new novellas, okay? This one is 81 pages. It's Valentine's Day weekend and Charlotte and Seth are not looking for romance. Armed with emotional support bear spray, Charlotte is in self-imposed isolation and on guard from men. Having a stalker can do that to a person's nerves. Just across the hall and giving off woodsy vibes is Seth, a recently divorced arborist, as in today recently. Heights, he's fine with. Trust, not so much. But when disaster traps them one flight up and no way down, an outrageously precarious predicament forces a tree-loving guy and a rattled girl next door to embrace their captivity. Soon their defences are breaking away, considering how close they are both to the edge. Charlotte and Seth could be in danger of falling in love. I think that's great. We've got a thriller, so nice, short, snappy, and we've got a lovely little romance. Perfect. Let's try and execute phase 2 of the plan today. We've executed phase 1. We have put the book down and we have removed the guilt. That's fine. Phase 2, slump-friendly reading options. We've found 2 of them. Right, we found 2 of them. Both short stories. I'm sure there's more. I'll catch up with you once phase 2 is complete. Hello, we're back. I have spent all morning listening to my audiobook. Like I said, we are listening to The Girl Who Disappeared by Claire Douglas. I'm currently 57% of the way through, and I think I started this a couple of days ago. I do read in 1.5 speed. Chapter 32. It's going really well at the moment. I'm really enjoying this book. ChatGPT was definitely right. Audiobooks definitely feel a lot better in helping this reading slump. I mean, I had already started the audiobook, but that's because I've been listening to audiobooks back to back recently. You can't already be snoring. So, 3 girls missing. 20 years ago, one rainy night, Olivia Rutherford is driving 3 friends home when a figure in the road causes her to swerve and crash. Regaining consciousness, she finds herself alone in the car. Her friends have vanished. They're never seen again. Now, journalist Jenna Halliday visits the close-knit community of Staffordbury to persuade Olivia to talk and solve the mystery of the girl's disappearance, but Olivia won't speak. What happened? Is Olivia hiding something? Why are the people of Staffordbury so frightened? How many secrets can one small town hide? Sounds really interesting, actually. Yeah, I am really enjoying this so far. So, audiobook-wise, ChatGPT was spot on, but it is about time to start reading a novella. Like I said earlier, we have The Full Risk by Abby Jimenez and we have Death Row by Frida McFadden. I think I'm gonna start with The Full Risk. I'm kind of interested in this. I've never read any Abby Jimenez before, and I don't think this is to do with anything. No, we're not licking mummy's legs today. This book is around 80... It's not around, it is 81 pages. I generally read 40 pages an hour, but what I'm gonna do is shove some brown noise on in my headphones like I usually do, get myself going. I'm gonna put a timer on for half an hour and we're gonna see how far we can get. Let's hope this works. Also, I'm really, really excited to read my first Abby Jimenez, whether it's a short story or not. Yeah, so let's get to reading this. I've got my reading buddy right here. My other reading buddy is off gallivanting in the kitchen, if you can't hear a little paddly pause. I usually watch the top one, the academic brown 8-hour brown noise. And then we are going to use Forest to time half an hour for reading, I think. Cool, right, ready? Ready? There we go, we're reading. Brown noise is on. Let's get in the zone. Let's read the book. I have just done my half an hour of reading, successfully completed half an hour. Now I got 37% of the way through my book, page 31 of 84. Not bad, pretty much halfway, which is really cool. It is 10 to 1, I have work at 4 today. I've just got a load of washing to hang up, so I'm gonna put this down and not force myself through it so quickly, just because I can. I'm gonna put that down, put my headphones back on, hang the washing up, come back down, and then finish that. Like I said, I am not entirely DNFing Love Redesigned, but I'm not putting myself pressure on reading this. So what I might do is pick this up for a chapter, see if I can get some of this done. I'm going to go up and do my chores. When I come back downstairs, we are going to sit and read for another half an hour or 15 minutes. I'm not going to put any pressure on it. Then I'm going to sit and read a chapter of Love Redesigned, and then we will see how I'm feeling. Good evening. So, it's next day and it's the evening. It is approximately... I don't know because my watch is dead. Hang on. Oh my goodness, it's 11:15. I don't know how I've done this. It's Saturday. We started this video yesterday, so it's not that bad. I had a 4-hour shift at work today and I have nearly finished The Full Risk by Abby Jimenez. This slump is really getting me hard because there's me so excited yesterday thinking, yeah, 2 little novellas, 70, 80 pages each, and we'll be cooking on gas, but apparently not, because I still haven't finished The Full Risk. This slump is clinging on hard, and I think it has everything to do with the fact that I still haven't finished Love Redesigned, and the big tome of the book I still haven't picked up and made any progress with, which I need to because it's for a video. I am 85% of the way through The Full Risk. I plan on sitting and reading this, finishing it today. Now, the next phase of ChatGPT's plan. So phase 3, because phase 2 was the slump-friendly reading options. Phase 3 is structure without pressure. Make a 3-day reading challenge. So create a mini personal challenge. Day 1, read for 10 minutes, any book. Day 2, try 2 chapters or 30 minutes. Day 3, pick something completely new from your shelf and read the first chapter. No pressure to continue if it's not working. Or use the try a chapter method. Line up 4 to 5 books from your TBR you're excited about and read the first chapter of each. You might naturally click with one without overthinking it. So I'm thinking, no pressure to read Death Row by Frida McFadden, because it didn't say I had to pick a couple of novellas, it just said pick a novella.
So we'll finish The Full Risk. You obviously saw my June TBR. So we have Funny Story by Emily Henry, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, which I have been told in my comments that I would be better off reading Part of Your World first. So I think I might actually take that off my TBR until I get to Part of Your World. I'm just waiting for my library to get it in. Then we've got Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver, and we have These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I also have 3 other books on my TBR that I would be reading for videos, and I'm really quite excited to get to those. They're not the sort of book I would usually read, but they look fun. They sound really interesting, and I don't think they're too long. And maybe because it's something newer to me, it might catch me a little bit. So I'm thinking, finish Full Risk because I'm loving it. It is really good. Kind of wish there was a little bit more drama in it. I know it's only a novella, but with what the story's about, I realise I've not actually told you what the story is about. Essentially, 2 neighbours find out that they are stuck. One neighbour is traumatised by a stalker, and another neighbour has just gone through a horrific breakup divorce, and they end up getting along, I guess is the best way to put it without giving any spoilers. So I'm thinking finishing that. After The Full Risk, I pick one of my Kindle books, but at the same time, I feel like reading a physical book often helps me. I don't know, I keep going to pick up Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver, so I might even pick that one up, to be honest. Those books are always so much fun. The Ruinous Love trilogy is great, and I can't wait to round it off. Let's see if I can sit here now and finish The Full Risk. I'm on page 67 of 84. Come off it. I can finish this in the next 15 minutes. In the morning, we will try probably maybe Scythe and Sparrow. I don't know. Like I said with phase 3, day 1, read for 10 minutes. Let's do that now. By the way, I forgot to tell you, it's 10:51. I'll see you at 11:02, 11:01. I finished! You can hear me. You can see my hand here. That's because my microphone is currently attached to a wire attached to Ben's chair because it is running out of battery. I have just finished The Full Risk, and it was so good. So good. Even for a novella, I think I'm going to have to rate it 3 stars. I don't usually rate novellas any more than 3 stars just because they are so short, and I feel like that I just can't. I did read for 10 minutes. I actually read for 15 minutes, so I'm very proud of myself. I have my little reading buddy with me, if you couldn't tell. Little Marjorie Jane. To be honest with you, when I read ChatGPT's suggestion of read for 10 minutes on day 1, I thought, what? Like, I can read for half an hour, hours at a time, like 10 minutes. And it wasn't until I tried to pick my book up this morning that I realised how deep into the slump I actually am and how hard sitting down and reading for 10 minutes was beginning to feel. So I'm kind of glad that that was the first cue. That was the first point, because I didn't genuinely realise how hard that was going to be. But now we're on a roll. I think I am going to try pick up Love Redesigned and maybe do another 10-15 minutes at least. Get maybe a chapter or 2 done, because the chapters at the moment are feeling very short. So let's pick that up.
So, it's Monday. Haven't seen you since Saturday. I thought we could sit while I am sorting out my lashes and talk about how I'm feeling about the slump, what's going on, what's to come, that sort of thing. I don't know, how do you feel about that? First of all, I've got good news. I finally finished Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. My heart is telling me to rate it 3 stars. But I know that if I'd have read it if I hadn't have gotten into a slump, if I'd probably read it all in one go, I would have enjoyed it just as much as the Dreamland Billionaire series. But on top of that, I am so insanely disappointed about the epilogue, extended epilogue, and the continuation of chapter 53, which I just feel like was quite unnecessary. I won't put in any spoilers, but you know how in a romance there's one thing that stops the 2 main characters from getting together? Well, there's one thing in this book. And it gets to the end and you think, well, they'll solve it. It has to happen. It's going to happen. They'll show us what it's like the right way, or, you know. And then you get to the extended epilogue and the main character, Dahlia, basically goes, not ready for that yet, so it's not going to happen, and I'm so glad it hasn't. So the thing that you wanted to happen hasn't actually happened and won't happen for a while. here's some good news about my TV show. That is all the extended epilogue is. And I wasn't here for it. I genuinely feel like of the 500 pages of that romance, I wasted 200 of them, at least 250. I was really quite upset. On the bright side, I have finished a book. Technically, during this read and slump journey, I have finished 2 books. 1 novella, 1 full-length book. And we know what that means. Time for another. I know that I didn't speak to you yesterday, but yesterday was day 2 of the mini reading challenge ChatGPT told me about. And that was to read for at least 30 minutes. And I did. I sat at work and I read from 7:30 until 8 o'clock. I had a really late dinner because quite a few people were checking in. I ate while I read while I ate, I had a half an hour break, and that's pretty much when I finished the book. So I did the half an hour yesterday. Today's, I'm also at work, but I'm gonna try and get everything reading wise done beforehand. So let's have a look what ChatGPT has for me today. Okay, so day 3 is pick something completely new from your shelf and read the first chapter. No pressure to continue if it's not working. That actually is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. After speaking to lovely Megan yesterday, I have decided that I would like to read a book called Mondays Are Murder by Ravena Guron. Before I butcher it any further, this book. I think it's YA. I think it's really quite a young YA. I saw it in Waterstones and had to have it because it looked cool and it really does look fun. The concept of the book is a girl gets a message that basically threatens her life and that says like, come Monday, I'm gonna murder you. And she has to figure it out or else she's probably gonna get murdered. But each day is for a different thing. Saturdays are for stabbings. Do you catch my drift? Monday for murders, yeah. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I have the Tatty Lashes mixed brown and black individuals and I'm being a bit of a cheapskate. And I'm cleaning them. I've used them for a week. They were absolutely fabulous and I loved every second of having them on my face, but I now need to clean them. So I thought maybe we could clean and lash together. I've also got some other exciting news for you all. Now, Ben and I have always said that we want to foster dogs. We will do our absolute best to do whatever we can for dogs in need. And that means we fostered 2 more dogs. And if we can give 2 little puppies a home, then why not? And I say puppies, we have now, as of yesterday, 2 more miniature dachshunds. These are 8-year-old miniature dachshunds. One is called Dougie and he is blind, and one is called Hazel and I believe she's his sister, or at least his best friend. And they have come from an elderly gentleman who has gone into respite care and could no longer look after his dogs. So that was really hard for him to part with those. But obviously we made sure to let the family know that we will be keeping Dougie and Hazel full of love, full of care, give them so much attention that they won't even realise things have changed. But I know that's hard because dogs grieve quite a bit, so we will do our absolute best for these 2 until we can find them a forever home. And you're probably thinking, oh Jess, this could be another failed foster, and I'm telling you it's not gonna be. Me and Ben can just about do with Midge and Madge. So no, we won't be failing on this foster. I tell you that now. Hold me to it. Now, I know I wanted to stay on my TBR this month, but the big books that I have read have completely ruined my reading journey. And I know that's such a bad thing. It hasn't completely ruined it at all. But this is the reason I don't read big books, is because they put me off, they put me in a slump, they demotivate me. And I just feel like sometimes the story isn't always worth it when reading is literally just supposed to be a fun hobby. I am going to prioritise literally every other book in my collection that I fancy. Okay, we're back. I have done my lashes. They're as good as we can get them. Would you like to see my surprise? Everybody, meet Dougie. He's 8 years old. His full name is Douglas, and he is blind. This is our blind foster. And he's lovely, but his breath absolutely honks. Oh, you chunk! Hi, everybody. You are in her personal space, so I don't blame her. This is Hazel. She's also 8 years old. She has 2 different coloured eyes, and she is gorgeous. And her breath also honks. Absolutely disgusting. But poor Bubbers never got their teeth checked. That's why. Speaking of Bubbers, twice I've caught you eating rubbish this morning, and I'm not even sure how you're getting it. They are getting extra love, just so they don't feel like
2 random dogs have invaded their home. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. This is the book we are starting today. So this is day 3 of the reading challenge from ChatGPT to help me get out of my slump. It said to pick a completely random book off my TBR and read the first chapter. That's the first chapter. Just that. So we're going to sit and read the second chapter and see how I feel, with no obligation to start the book. Dougie, over here. Over here. This way. This way. Here. Okay, so I've read chapter 2. We might be okay. I feel like reading 1 chapter at the moment just isn't enough. I'm going to read chapter 10 because each of these chapters are just not long enough. But I have Dougie sat with me. He's come for a cuddle. Let's read to chapter 10. I'm on chapter 3 and I'll come back to you once I'm up to chapter 10. I'll see you guys in a bit. Good evening, everyone. Coming for you, yeah. Coming to you.
Death threats now.
Apparently so. Coming to you on a Tuesday evening from the sofa. So, we've just done phase 3, which was the 3-day mini reading challenge, and day 3 of the reading challenge was pick something completely new from your shelf and read the first chapter, which also happens to coincide with the other part of phase 3, which is try a chapter method. So I did. I read chapter 1 and chapter 2 of Mondays and Murder, and it was incredibly nostalgic because it felt just like a good girl's guide to murder. So I continued reading. I read at work yesterday and I have read today, and we are up to page, hang on, 89. So not that far ahead, to be honest with you, but I read 89 pages in 2 days. I can't complain. On to stage 4, which is change your environment. 8, switch up your reading location, try a cozy corner, cafe, park bench, even the bath. Sometimes your space is the problem, not the book. And 9, set the mood. Light a candle, make a hot drink, add a soft playlist. Ritualizing reading makes it feel more indulgent and relaxing. So Ben and I are doing parallel play at the moment, which we haven't done in a while, and I always find that I read better during parallel play. I'm going to see if that helps, because we're sat together. As you can see, the 2 pups are here. We've got Douglas and Hazel are in the pen in their bed fast asleep over there. If you can hear, Ben is playing the new Ready or Not game on Steam Deck, waiting for it to come out on Xbox at the moment. I'm also going to incorporate stage 5, because stage 5, or should I say phase 5, is called mind hacks. This is set a timer, not a goal. Try the Pomodoro style method. Read for 15 to 20 minutes and stop. Even if you want to keep going, it removes pressure and creates anticipation. I'm going to do just that. I'm going to read for 10 minutes, break for 5, read for 10 minutes, break for 5, call it half an hour in total. 11, talk about books. Film or write about why you're in a slump, what books you're trying, or ask for viewer follower recs. It creates community motivation. Here we are, guys. Recommend books to me, please. You will probably realise why I'm in a reading slump once you see the big video that's coming out soon. That book definitely got me in a slump, and I'm still only halfway through it. I'm really hoping that Mondays and Murder are going to help me get back into reading. I think my biggest problem is that I'm not making time for it. I just kind of get all my housework jobs done and then sit down. And then I call that reading time, instead of prioritising 30 minutes for reading in my reading nook, cosy, calm, with a cup of tea. Obviously, I'm doing the video now. We're talking about the books. I'm very excited. We've obviously finished Love Redesigned. We finished The Full Risk, and we're now 89 pages through Mondays and Murder. I want to finish this video tomorrow lunchtime, and let's see what we can do until then. I am going to try and make this a series, because I get into reading slumps quite often, don't I?
Yeah, but you are a bit full on with it.
Okay. I'm full on with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, because you're reading for yourself, you're reading for your channel, you're reading for...
Oh, I see.
You know, to share buddy read with
Megan, yeah,
you've got,
gotcha.
Like, those self
pressures.
Inflicted pressures. So that's what I mean by you're a bit full on.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe I need to stop buddy reading, stop filming my read. Well, not filming my reading. Maybe I need to just like read whatever the heck I like and just film it and hope that my subscribers like it.
Can I just say, the way I see it is like, I love McDonald's, but if I was there every day, I would get fed up with it.
Yeah.
Or pizza. Actually, no, I can never get fed.
I can never get fed up with
But
pizza either.
you know what I'm trying to say.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. I think after Monday's a Murder, I'm going to be going on to the books that I've planned for a video for the end of June. I'm very excited for these books, very excited for the video, and I feel like it'll make things a little bit more natural. I think it doesn't help that I'm quite behind in my filming too, and so any book I read, there's like a pressure to get it done for a video. I'm going to set a timer up for 10 minutes. We'll see what I read, but I'm going to do 10 minutes reading, 5 minutes doom scrolling, watching SB mowing, because that's also what's on in the background. Let's read. Okay, so timer's going off. I have read to page 99 from 89, so I read 10 pages in 10 minutes.
Nice.
That's pretty good, a page a minute. Do you know what? I'll take that. I am usually like a 40 page an hour type girly. Do you know what? That's really motivating actually, because if I sat down for 60 minutes, that's 60 pages. Huh, I'm happy with that. I'll take it. A page a minute for this book is really pretty good. So I'm now going to have 5 minutes. I finished at 15:15. I've got 4 minutes left until 20 past. And then I'll read for another 10 minutes and I'll see you at past. The book is getting really good, actually. It's definitely very much a good girl's guide to murder. I want to say like / Hot Fuzz, if you guys have seen the film. Mainly because of the committee that's in the book. I won't give too much away. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm only 99 pages in and there's no way I could guess what's going on, who's done it. There's so many suspects, but I guess that's the point. Like, that's literally the whole point of Good Girl's Guide to Murder 2 is they mislead you until the last minute, which I kind of like, but I also like being able to guess. I don't know. Let's read for another 10 minutes. Let's get to page 109. I'll see you at past. Okay, so it's been another 10 minutes. I've been joined by a very sleepy puppy dog, but turns out I've got a wriggler. Anything you want to say? No? Okay. I have made it to chapter 19, page 111. We're on Wednesday. We started on Monday. We're now on Wednesday. And we've got to get all the way back to Monday. Very excited. I'm getting there. I am getting there. I reckon I could read maybe to page 150 tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It depends how tired I am. I think me and Ben kind of just want to spend the evening together too after our parallel play. These puppy dogs need to go to sleep. She loves laying or being cradled. Yeah, like a baby. We went for a long dog walk earlier. We went through a field we don't usually go through and it wasn't cut back, and long hay-like grass is the one thing that is bound to set Ben off. And he made a joke about it, and since we've gotten home he has non-stop sneeze, non-stop runny nose, you name it, and now he sounds all bugged up. Don't you? All bugged up. So it's currently 10:30. I'll catch up with you in the morning. I think it's safe to say that ChatGPT has got some absolutely banging, cracking ideas for how to get out of a book slump. Obviously, ChatGPT is free unless you want to subscribe to the premium deal. I don't, and I don't need to, because it's free. And if I'm just asking a couple of questions, what's the problem? Also great about ChatGPT is it learns as you go. So if I then have another book slump and I've already told ChatGPT which of its suggestions didn't work, it won't suggest them to me again. I use ChatGPT a lot in my YouTube in help with descriptions, helping plan my videos, plan my scripts, plan... Good morning. I think someone woke themselves up. Look at little floppy feet. I've got Midge. This is Midge on me, by the way. She's officially 7 months old. We're going to go get ourselves tucked up in bed. We will probably go over and review how ChatGPT might have helped me get out of my book slump. We'll go over the books I read, how I felt about them, how I feel after my book slump. And like I said, I think I'm going to make this a series. I often go into book slumps, and that's because I just don't manage my time and my reading very well. And that's something obviously I'll learn to do. And because I think I've got such a huge physical TBR that I've just made it so daunting. I think maybe I'm just in like this vicious cycle of berating myself for reading slower than I used to. Good night from myself. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, night, guys. Good morning. I said goodnight to you last night and I'll speak to you this morning. I didn't update you on how much I ended up reading. So I spoke to you and said, we'll say goodnight, blah, blah, blah. And then because Ben's game went on for like another half an hour, I just sat and read, which means I ended up reading to page 140. I am 31% through the book, which is smashing. I mean, I was, on 111 and then half an hour later on 140. That's literally 30 pages, 29, in 30 minutes. Can't really complain, can I? I'm going to be really honest. There you go. It's 8:33 in the morning. I am back in bed. So I am sat watching a comfort show, ready to read. I think, to be honest with you, having seen how quickly I can get through this, like I'm already on 140, is enough motivation for me to keep going. I'll probably catch up with you just before lunchtime as well. But let's double check ChatGPT just to see if I'm missing anything. Okay, so we're kind of going back to phase 4 here, changing up the reading location, setting the mood, because I'm chilling in bed, no pressure, we've dimmed the lights, and that's it. It has a bonus on here for TBR jar pick. You can even gamify it with your TBR jar. Label the slips by genre or length, or just add a wildcard option that lets you pick any book you want with 0 rules. We're not going to do the TBR jar because we've already done that for June, but I think we're going to keep going with this and probably finish this at some point. I won't finish this today. I'm not that delusional, but I do have work, so I reckon I could get like a good chapter 55, page 300. That's like a third. I've done that smashing there. Yeah, I reckon we could get another third of the book done, to be honest. Get to 60% through. I'm going to go back to watching my programme. I'm going to wake up and then we will catch up with each other once I'm up and about and awake and refreshed. I just wanted to get that ready before, in case I read anything else and then forgot to tell you how much I read. It was not until today that I've realised that this, like, breaking a reading slump is actually working. I highly recommend ChatGPT. This is not an ad. I use it in literally my everyday life. You can see, okay, so all of these here are the chats that I've asked ChatGPT to help me with. From anything, hey fee for advice, pick me a book, best ways to cool down. Do you know what I mean? Like literally the most random question. Concocting essential oil diffuser recipes. Incredible. You name it, ChatGPT can help you with it, and it learns as it goes, which is fantastic. Anyway, I digress. Let's watch some TV. I'll see you in a second. Hi everyone. It is a week or so later, and I'd like to come on and tell you that ChatGPT genuinely got me out of my reading slump, and I mean 100%. But I also have Ravena Guron to thank for getting me out of my reading slump. This is literally exactly the book I needed, and this is the last one you saw me reading. I actually finished this the day after I finished filming this video. It was that good. I literally read this in 3 days, which is about my usual reading speed for something like this. So that's perfect. I am joined today by Migella and Douglas. I'd like to go through the books I read. So we started off with me attempting to put down Love Redesigned, and I ended up actually finishing this. I had about 140 pages left, and instead of forcing myself to finish this as part of the slump dilemma, I put it down and came back to it when I felt like it, and I ended up finishing it in a couple of hours. 3 stars, not my favourite from Lauren Asher, unfortunately. Could have had something to do with the slump. We also read The Full Risk by Abby Jimenez. This was a short little romance novella that I absolutely adored. This was honestly incredible. The easy flow of the writing and the fact that it was so short that made it less daunting probably was the reason I finished it. Now, I knew I was caught in the slump because it took me 2.5 days to finish an 80-page novella, but I did it, and that's all that matters. I didn't put any pressure on it. I finished it, and that was that. So that's 2 books down. And then obviously we were about halfway through Mondays I Murder by Ravena Guron when I finished this, and then the next day I finished it. I would say finishing 3 books between a time span of like Friday to Wednesday morning to get out of a reading slump, 2 of which I started during the reading slump, I'm quite happy with. I have now moved on to some other books, and I'm kind of hoping that I can keep the same momentum. I would just like to say I'm very behind on filming, I'm very behind on reading, and I'm very behind on uploading. And I would just ask if you could all bear with me at the moment. Like I've mentioned previously on my channel, things are going on behind the scenes and I'm trying my best. This is still my hobby and I still love it, but unfortunately some things have to take a side step while other things go on. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to keep it so that I enjoy it. I don't want this to become a chore. With that being said, ChatGPT got me out of my reading slump 100%. And I will be using it again because Lord knows I'm going into another reading slump at some point. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every subscribe, every like, every comment. I love interacting with you in my comments. It literally makes my day when it pops up on my phone saying somebody's commented. So keep going, please. If you have any recommendations for books, please let me know. I will pop all of the books I read down below, including the star ratings. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I shall see you guys next week with something new and exciting. Thank you so much for watching.
I got you. These lashes are going to be the death of me.
You can fuck off because I've already paid the cheese tax and I paid above interest rates, whatever that means.
My microphone's still on. Just daily conversations with the dog.